And what is going on, my Houston Texans family? Hope you all are having a blessed Monday. I already know you are, but I just had to say it. It is a victory Monday because last night the Houston Texans on prime time football in Arrowhead, they dismantle the Kansas City Chiefs. 20-10 is the final score. The Houston Texans are on a 5-game winning streak, and this is the best 5-game stretch in Houston Texans regular season history. When you look at who they beat in this 5-game winning streak, 4 of the teams are in the playoffs. Well, playoff push race. Kansas City, they were on the brink, but it was Kansas City. You beat the Jacksonville Jaguars, playoff team. You beat the Buffalo Bills, playoff team, MVP. You beat the Indianapolis Colts, number one offense entering the game, Jonathan Taylor. They had a rough one yesterday. You beat them. And then you followed that up with a win in Kansas City. And the way we were talking about this game, you didn't just have to beat the Chiefs. You had to beat Arrowhead. You had to beat the referees, who were very spotty last night for both sides. Nonetheless, the Houston Texans, guys, they are for real. This is a team that should be looked at as a dark horse for, dare I say it, the Super Bowl. When you have a defense this talented, when you have the best cornerback in the NFL, when you have a linebacker who just wants to take head-offs, when you have two edge rushers who don't stop, they just keep on going, it's a recipe for disaster for opposing offenses. The highlight of yesterday's game was this Houston Texans defense. Now, we're going to get into all this, ladies and gentlemen. This may be a long one, but I got to pay the bills. Episode brought to you and powered by Sleeper. Think you know football? Then try to turn your football knowledge into real money with the Sleeper app, the ultimate fantasy sports app that can turn game day into payday. Just download the Sleeper app and pick more or less on your favorite players with more stats than any other daily fantasy app. Just choose two or more of your favorite players from pregame or live. Pick more or less from the predicted stats, and you could win up to 1,000 times your money if your picks win. Use promo code 713HOU and you get up to a $100 match on your first deposit. Terms and conditions apply. Sleeper's also giving you a free $20 entry. No deposit needed. Just type in 713HOU. I have the parlay right here, guys. And unfortunately, we didn't hit. We got Nico Collins over on the yards. That hit. We had Woody Marks over on yards. That hit. CJ Stroud only threw for like 205 yards, so we didn't cash on that one. And then Harrison Butker, this one I'm not mad at. 1.5 field goals made, only hits one, doinks the other one. When he made that doink, I was just screaming, fuck my parlay, fuck fantasy, let's win this game. We also want to shout out Platypus Brewing for allowing us to have a watch party there yesterday, and shout out everyone who came. It means the absolute world to me. We had DJ Boom there. Shout out to DJ Boom, man. Next time, brother, enjoy the game with us. But like you said, the music just had the whole game feeling like we were there. I mean, every turnover, every big play, DJ Boom know exactly what to do. Shout out my boys who came. Shout out to Prodigy. This was one of the best regular season wins for me in Houston Texans, in their history. I really wanted this game, and they delivered. Now, let's just jump right into it. 20-10 was the final score. Let's start with the defense. Patrick Mahomes, he was 14 of 33, 160 yards, 0 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, sacked 2 times, a quarterback rating of 19.8. This is Patrick Mahomes, ladies and gentlemen. You've made Josh Allen look silly. You made Pat Mahomes look silly. There's no doubt in my mind that you can do this to any quarterback in the league. This Houston Texans defense just showed you last night how ferocious they are. And Pat Mahomes, right? Like, we all knew this Kansas City Chiefs team weren't the Kansas City Chiefs team that we're normally used to seeing. The playoffs, all the Super Bowls are adding up to them. They didn't look like they wanted it last night, guys. They didn't. And Pat Mahomes was running for his life. I mean, what, at one point he had 50 yards in the half passing? Unheard of from one of the young goats in this league. But man, Pat Mahomes was running for his life. And when he did complete a pass, I mean, the coverage from the Houston Texans secondary, it was sticky. We were talking about guys like Rashee Rice ruining your day, Xavier Worthy ruining your day. Travis Kelce always plays good against the Houston Texans. Just no shows. Just absolutely shut down by this Houston Texans team. Pat Mahomes, he had to do it all. He was also the leading rusher for them. 59 yards on the ground. Kareem Hunt, 12 rushes, 30 yards, 1 touchdown. Isaiah Pacheco, 9 rushes, 30 yards, 3.3 yards a carry, 2.5 yards a carry. The Texans have been shutting down the run all year. You know, Xavier Worthy, 3 catches, 55 yards. Hollywood Brown, 1 catch, 35 yards. Rashee Rice, 4 catches, 34 yards. Travis Kelce, 1 catch, 8 yards. This is the best defense in the NFL. This is the best Houston Texans defense we've ever seen. Derek Stingley, ladies and gentlemen, I think he was targeted less than 3 times. And in one of those targets, it came on a fourth down, late in the fourth quarter. You're going up against the best cornerback in the NFL, Derek Stingley, all over Rashee Rice, incomplete. Texans get the ball back. Derek Stingley, ladies and gentlemen, has been having himself such a fantastic year that, you know, we're really not talking about it because we're so used to how great he is at the cornerback position. He might have himself another all-pro year just based on how this Houston Texans team, this Houston Texans defense has been playing all year. And it doesn't help that you're on a 5-game winning streak. And it does help. I'm sorry. As great as Derek Stingley is, I think the best cornerback this year, though, if I'm being quite honest with you, and this might be a hot take, but it's Kamari Lassiter. Kamari Lassiter is a top 10 cornerback in the NFL, and I think it's time that we start acknowledging that. When we saw him on the injury report, we were all worried. We were like, man, he's a dog. He is the embodiment of what the swarm mentality is. He's probably, you know, your best tackler in the second. Man, Stingley's good too. But he's your most ferocious player in the secondary, right? Stingley doesn't talk. Stingley just looks at you and laugh. No, Kamari will get in your face. Kamari will bark at you. Kamari's a dog, and he gets a big pass breakup, a deep ball from Patrick Mahomes. The receiver caught the ball, but Kamari Lassiter last second punches it out. And then there's the interception where Patrick Mahomes, under pressure, throws it up, severely underthrown. And Kamari Lassiter, INT, and I'm sorry for making fun of your hands, Kamari. When we drafted you, you know, I said you can't catch. Kamari Lassiter has just been playing fantastic. He needs to have a Pro Bowl nomination this year. I definitely think Kamari Lassiter is a top 10 cornerback. And I can't believe we probably have the best cornerback duo in the NFL. We have the best edge rushing duo in the NFL. We have the best defense in the NFL, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to hear me say that multiple times throughout this video. Azeez Al-Shaair, interception. Also had a key pass breakup late in the fourth quarter. I think it was the last fourth down that Kansas City went. It was Rashee Rice, Azeez Al-Shaair in coverage, pass breakup, and then Azeez gets the interception. You know, a couple of drives later, go back and watch that play, because as Travis Kelce is reaching back to try to get the ball, Miles Bryant just like spears him right in the stomach. And it's just like, oh, you know, that had to hurt for Travis Kelce. But you have to feel good for Azeez Al-Shaair. You know, he's been fantastic since becoming a Houston Texan since last season. We love Azeez. Shout out to him for being our nomination. I'm sorry, I can't believe I'm laughing, but our nomination for Walter Payton Man of the Year, Aziz Al-Shaair, as I talked about, Kamari Lassiter really embodying the swarm mentality. Aziz Al-Shaair is that also. I mean, you could argue Aziz Al-Shaair, is one of your heartbeats of this defense. There's a reason why D'Amico loves Aziz Al-Shaair. And when you talk about, one of the best defenses in the NFL, you have to mention Agent Zero. I think in terms of pass coverage compared to last year to this year, it's night and day. It is a huge difference. That's the D'Amico Ryans effect, ladies and gentlemen. Aziz Al-Shaair has just been playing fantastic for you this year. He played fantastic for you last night against Kansas City. Like he said, I had this one circled. We were crying in the locker room. We know how bad Aziz. Well, yeah, we know how bad Aziz played last year in the divisional round. I'm happy that he got his get back. This was a get back for the whole Houston Texans after the way our season ended last year in the divisional round. And now we could say it, you ended potentially into the Kansas City Chiefs season. This is going to be the first time in 9 years where the Kansas City Chiefs won't win the division. That is just absolutely insane. That's dominance, ladies and gentlemen. And the Houston Texans shut that down. Jalen Petrie has now become one of my favorite players solely because of that big ass Guardian cap that he wears. Landry Locker and Cody Stutes, they call him Toad from Mario. I think he looks like how Nickelodeon does the NFL games. He looks like those characters with the big ass heads. But Jalen Petrie, an interception, and Jalen Petrie has been playing fantastic since coming back. What Petrie, he's a heat-seeking missile. His tackling has gotten better. His coverage has drastically improved. One of the best nickels in the game. This defense, guys, it shut down Kansas City. I mean, 10 points is what Kansas City got. They didn't score in the first. They didn't score in their second. They didn't score in the fourth. All their points came in quarters 3. This Houston Texans defense, they could potentially put a ring on your finger. Switching to the offense. It was up and down. However, CJ Stroud, 15 of 31, 203 yards, 1 touchdown, no interception, sacked 3 times, a quarterback rating of 80.4. I think that there were 3 good quarters from this Houston Texan offense. That third quarter was horrible. Horrible in the sense of you knew what Kansas City was going to do. They were showing you every single play. They were just rushing 7, overwhelming the offensive line, moving Chris Jones all over the line. We got to see some Chris Jones versus Ariante Ursary reps, and those didn't look too good. The offensive line yesterday, I think took a step back after last week. The Kansas City Chiefs, Steve Spagnuolo, they brought it. And you're like, man, it's every single play. They're just in CJ Stroud's face. And, you can't really get mad at CJ because as soon as he gets the snap, there's someone in his face. Can't complete it. Can't see. Has to hurry, get the ball out. But then as the games, as the third quarter kept on going, we saw CJ Stroud weather the storm. And I saw that comment yesterday. And I was like, just weather this. Just weather the third quarter, right? How we used to talk about the Golden State Warriors. Just weather the third quarter. We know that's their signs of life. And the Houston Texans offense, they weathered it. And then CJ Stroud just started making some of these just amazing clutch throws that you just screamed, "Oh my gosh, what a throw. Oh my gosh, what a play." I think CJ Stroud, he gets a B+ for yesterday's performance. He gets his win in Kansas City. I talked about last week being the biggest win for CJ Stroud this year. He might have got that. CJ Stroud was 15 of 31, 203 yards, 1 touchdown, no INT, sacked 3 times, quarterback rating 80.4. It looks like CJ Stroud is back, ladies and gentlemen. There were some good moments from CJ. There were some crazy moments, some bad moments, right? The one play that sticks out to me from CJ's end, I think it was late in the fourth quarter, that play to Christian Kirk, where if it's a better ball, Christian Kirk is in the end zone. Like, he's running into the end zone, and it's bye-bye Kansas City. Fortunately, the offense had to make it hard on him. Nonetheless, I think CJ Stroud did great. Like I said, B+. And going forward, I have all the confidence in number 7 after what he did last night against Kansas City. You know who else had a fantastic game yesterday? Nico Collins, 8 targets, 4 receptions, 121 yards. His biggest was 53. Nico Collins, ladies and gentlemen, he's about to have 3 straight 1,000-yard games. 1,000-yard seasons. The last 4 or 5 weeks since this winning spree, Nico Collins is like 90+ yards every single game. And yesterday, just big play after big play, Nico Collins gave you. Number 12 was out there. Only 12 I respect, is what Andres says. There is a connection between CJ Stroud and Nico Collins. When CJ Stroud called Nico the modern day Andre Johnson, we were like, all right, buddy. But no, big plays, big time players make big time plays in big time games. Like I said, 121 yards. The second receiver was Jaden Higgins, 3 catches, 34. His longest was 17. He had that amazing catch late in the game where CJ Stroud evades the rush. Dot. Great catch by Jaden Higgins. Great catch by the rookie. Dalton Schultz didn't have a game that we're used to seeing. 3 catches, 22 yards. His longest was 14. Jalen Noel, 2 catches, 12 yards. I want to see more of Jalen Noel. Woody Marks, 2 catches, 8 yards, 1 touchdown. That was just great. Pressure coming. Hits the dump off, right? Someone was saying last week CJ Stroud doesn't dump it off. Dumps it off to Woody. No one in front of him. Right into the end zone. Woody Marks. What more can you say? This is someone who has changed your running game, right? In a way where it's still not good. It's still not dangerous. But you got to respect it. You got to respect the Houston Texans rushing attack. And one thing I've noticed during this 5-game winning streak, as the game goes on, Woody Marks gets better. We start seeing the best for number 27 late in the game, gets a big first down, when the Houston Texans are trying to go up there and score. Woody Marks, another solid game. That 100-yard performance, it's coming. Like I said, it seems like every single week he's just close to just breaking one off. I think Nick Caley lost the battle against Spags. That third quarter was really bad, ladies and gentlemen. It was really bad. But nonetheless, the Houston Texans, they shocked the NFL world again. Last night, they defeated the Kansas City Chiefs. 20-10 is the final score. There are going to be some rumblings here in Houston. You're going to hear talks about Super Bowl. And I'm whispering that. Ladies and gentlemen, the Houston Texans have completely turned their season around. Can you believe we started 0-3 and are now 8-5 on a 5-game winning streak and just took down 4 playoff teams to get there? With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, let me know your thoughts and comments down below. I love you guys. Houston Texans, they continue to make my life crazy. Episode brought to you and powered by Sleeper. We did it, guys. We freaking did it. I love y'all. Have a very blessed day.